Okay, hold on a second. I know why you clicked on the video. You want to see if it's true, if some old senior finance executive can front squat 405 pounds. Now that's a truckload by any standard, but you need to hear a few important details first that will blow your mind. Number one, I'm not a bodybuilder. That's obvious. Powerlifter, professional athlete or trainer. In other words, I don't have all day to spend at the gym. Number two, I'm 100% lifetime natural. Importantly, I have a full-time, lifelong career in finance and economics with a master's degree and in the process of completing my doctorate. As much as I'd like to think so, I am not 25 years old. If you ask my kids, I'm ancient, but the truth is I'm more like double that. And finally, I have 3 children and 2 dogs. It's a lot, but yet here I am about to show you that I can front squat more than most of the people who are bodybuilders, athletes, trainers, and are 25 years old can back squat. So the real reason why you are watching this video and all the other videos that will appear on this channel is so that you can learn the secret of how I can do this, stay young and ready for anything in a sustainable way while living a rich, full life with family, career, and travel. I can't show you everything in one video, but I will teach you something that will alter your reality every time. So sit back and absorb what I have to share. You're gonna love it. Now you just saw me front squat with pretty clean technique, 365 pounds for 2 reps. But the question is, how much can I max? Now one way to find out would be to get under the most amount of weight possible and do it. While that would be undisputable, it's not something that is necessarily the best choice given safety, wanting to stay healthy, and basically make sure you keep training and improving all the time. Another way is to use, a standard AMRAP calculator that you can find online, where you lift a certain percentage of your max to failure and then estimate your max based on that. While that's useful, it has pretty big errors due to the individual differences, as very few people are really average or normal anyway. The good news, though, is that there is a better way, and that is to use velocity as a tool. It's really straightforward, and I will show you how to do it. So for example, let's look at the 365-pound front squat I did. I know that based on prior max attempts that I should have expected to move that bar at a speed or velocity of about 0.52 meters per second. However, you'll notice that I moved the bar a little bit faster than that at 0.55 and 0.53 to be exact for the first and second rep respectively. I'm super happy about that, and it definitely implies that I'm not only capable of front squatting 405, but probably a little bit more. But to do this properly, you need more data to get a good estimate. Specifically, you need to measure your velocity at different percentages of your estimated max, so you can then extrapolate to your true max. In my case, I lifted loads at 45, 50, 70, and 80% as shown here. As you can see in the video clips, each rep begins at the bottom and the velocity of the concentric or positive portion of the rep is measured for speed in meters per second. It's pretty obvious as you see in the clips that play on repeat that I am moving the lighter weights faster than the heavier weights. This is a simple reality that makes velocity the most useful alternative way to measure your true max. So if we plot the weights I lifted at the average velocity I was able to move them and then put a trend line through it, as you see here, we would be able to estimate my true max as my velocity approaches about 0.27 meters per second or so. So my estimated max is not 405, but 420 pounds. Now it's possible I may not be able to do that the first time I attempt it, as my body and my central nervous system really aren't used to that load. It would take some working up to over the course of a few weeks. Now, as interesting as it is that we can use velocity to more effectively estimate our max, what will really twist your noodle is the much more important information we can learn from it. This graph should really shock you, but at the same time, be pretty much expected. Now, it's really important to realize that no two people have the same trend line that I'm showing here. In fact, depending on what muscle fiber types they have and how they train, they may be able to move really heavy weights or even heavier than I can, but move the lighter weights slower as shown here. In other words, if you just test these people based on their max alone, you might think that their muscle structure and capabilities are equal, but far from it. Athlete A is much faster and way more powerful, roughly 30 to 40% faster and more powerful. Now in sports, 1 to 2% can make all the difference, let alone 30 to 40. How is this possible? It's because if you just focus on getting stronger and lifting maximal weights, you may not realize that in order to grind out the really slow reps as you approach your limits, that you may be getting a larger contribution from your slow twitch fibers, as well as not developing your fast twitch fibers to move explosively with speed and power. In order to avoid this mistake and many others affecting your physique and performance, including how to get and stay lean, develop endurance without sacrificing power, and doing fitness programs that actually fit your goals and your lifestyle, as well as the time constraints on a long-run basis, then you need to like and subscribe to my channel in order to take advantage of the evidence-based programs that I will share with you as the channel progresses. Thank you.